Good morning, people. From 9,000 feet up, atop the Sacramento Mountains, outside of the village of Cloudcroft, we had totally peaceful until now that it's windy. Fall's coming, the elderberry bush, all of the elderberries are completely eaten up now, and they're starting to drop their leaves. The trees are just beginning to change. The aspens are getting a little bit of yellow in them. I think our fall colors will completely come out in October, as they usually do. But there's been some falls I can remember when I used to bring my mother up here from El Paso. When I lived in El Paso, and I'd just bring her up to the cabin. One fall, the leaves didn't change until the end of October, and they changed for 2 days, and then they dropped because then came a freeze. That was the strangest fall. Usually, though, the leaves change in October, and I think that's going to be the case here, too. Everything is still just overgrown. Cattle have not come up. I have seen a few deer. That area over there got smashed down again. I put out the game camera. Have not caught whatever had smashed it down. Obviously sleeping there overnight. I have not caught what did that. And then it was so windy the last few days that all the game camera caught was blowing leaves. So I brought the game camera back in. And I'll put the game camera back out tonight. If it's deer or elk, they tend to walk in patterns. They follow their trails, and if they're here for a few days, and they leave, and they come back a week to 10 days later. That's what I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it's not coyote or cougar or something thinking we're going to get those cats. Because I can smell cats. That weird thing way up there with the 3 sticks, what turned out to be trees, young trees growing out of the soil. Oh, look, I have Mr. Spider. There you are. Mr. Spider. See Mr. Spider? Spider. This spider is a jumping spider that has been jumping on me, then jumps off. I can find it, put him somewhere. He jumps off. He's jumped off me now. At any rate, those were 3 young trees that were growing out of the soil. And Gemini, that I call Superbrain, I'd already asked it what could cause this, and it said, human. Well, it's definitely not human. And said it could be elk or bear or something that's walking by. I think that's what it was, because I've climbed up there. It's extremely steep. No person did that. I found no forest people footprints. I found no human footprints, but I did find a lot of elk footprints and a few deer footprints. And the soil was so wet, we'd have so much rain, that I think that's why it just got so wet. And then a deer walking by. Got it. Well, there's Mr. Spider. Spider. See Spider? See, he jumps. He can jump. He just jumped on my hand. Now he jumped off. I'm going to have to make sure that he jumps off completely, because I'm going to be doing laundry today, and I don't want This is going to be one of the things I'm going to launder, and I don't want him hurt. He's been hanging around. Notice how beautiful it is. Quiet. I can't share the smell with you, but it smells so good. I was going to ask, have any of you all heard of remote viewing? A few years back, if any of you watched my videos from back when I was still living in El Paso and simply came up to the cabin, I mentioned that there's this book I had read, Extraordinary Knowing, and I said everyone on the planet needs to read that book. That's what I was talking about when bees came to my pampas grass one day, and I was thrilled to see all those bees. And everyone on the planet should read Extraordinary Knowing. It has a subtitle, something like The Powers of the Human Mind. It's by Elizabeth Lloyd Meyer. She's she is, because she's in heaven, so she's still alive. A psychologist who, like myself, did not believe in any kind of ESP or psychic phenomena. Thought all of that was garbage until something happened that made her to investigate what's going on. I don't want to give the book away. You need to read it. Extraordinary Knowing by Elizabeth Lloyd Meyer. It was the last book she wrote. She wasn't very old when she died. She was either in her late 50s or her 60s, my age. Well, coming to Cloudcroft this next week is the International Remote Viewing Association members. They're having a week-long conference in Cloudcroft. And there are some rock stars coming, essentially, in that field. How many of you remember Francis Gary Powers, the YouTube pilot who was shot down? National hero just during the Cold War. He took on a very risky assignment to spy on Russia, flying extremely high, because this was in the early 60s. And unfortunately, he was shot down. Now, eventually, he was returned to the United States. Well, his son, who lectures throughout the country about the Cold War, he's going to be there. He's going to be here in Cloudcroft. So is Lynn Buchanan, who was part of the military operations that Elizabeth Lloyd Meyer goes into detail about in her book, Extraordinary Knowing. He's going to be here. So is Skip Atwater, I believe. He's the head of the International Remote Viewing Association, and he's going to be here. I put on my videos I want you to watch playlist an interview that Sean, what's that kid's name? Sean Ryan did with Skip Atwater recently. Also one that he did with Joe McMoneagle. No doubt I'm mispronouncing his name. That's excellent to watch too. Look, there's people down there. Who are they? Humans. Oh, she's pointing at the for sale sign. Yes, Joanna's crawling up on Raphael's stump to look at the people. We're going to stare. Humans. Humans are coming by. I don't know them. We won't say anything and see if they notice me or not. humans. Seeing human beings is a very rare sight up here, where I am. Now think of that. I'm not camouflaged. I'm out in the open, and they didn't notice me. Imagine the wild animals who are watching us as we hike around the mountains. They simply hide and watch. What'd you think of that, Joanna? People. They've moved on, so you've turned your back to them. There you are, looking up high into there. The other day, it wasn't that long ago, it's very peculiar. I could not figure out what they were looking at, but okay, Half Pint was inside looking out the window. Julia was asleep on her cat bed. The other 3 cats, the 2 ferals, and Joanna were out here. Joanna was back there behind the cabin, staring into the forest, and the 2 ferals planted themselves on the other side of the cabin, staring into the forest, while the feral Half Pint was inside looking out the window, staring into the forest. It wasn't when I noticed those 3 sticks propped, what looks like still 3 sticks propped up against the tree, but I've investigated. I know what it is now. But I walked back there, and they wouldn't move. They were still staring into the forest. I couldn't see what they saw. What is it you people see or hear? We all talk about dogs having excellent hearing, but I know cats have excellent hearing because I would watch Raphael. He could hear a bug moving through the grass that would be 20 yards away. 20 or 30 yards away, and he would suddenly take off. And I remember following him once, thinking, what in the heck? That's when I realized, wow, he heard that. Cats have excellent hearing too. Well, this video is just, morning video. I wonder where Mr. Spider is. I'm gonna have to. I'm out here with my Starbucks pumpkin spice coffee. Of course, there's no Starbucks anywhere near me. It's what I bought and brought home, brew it at home. Where'd Mr. Spider? I'm going to have to find the spider and make sure he's off my clothing. Little jumping spider, little baby spider living its spider life. At any rate, I just want to finish saying I'm excited. I'm excited knowing some of the people that are coming now to this conference in Cloudcroft. I'm going to be in Cloudcroft for a week. I'm excited because I had not really paid attention to it until I saw who all is coming. And those are the top 3, like rock stars in their field people. As far as remote viewing is concerned, from the things I've read, very, very, very few people can do it. Extremely few. But that anyone could is amazing. Read Elizabeth Lloyd Myers' book, Extraordinary Knowing. Bye-bye from Cloudcroft.